Our community thinks that my M37 son is a scholarship kid because of my wife, F36. My wife and I have 2 young children, and I have a child who I met in 2021, and he came to the US to live with us last month. It hasn't been the smoothest transition, but it's getting better as the days go by. If I had to explain the community I live in, I would say status really matters to a lot of the people here, including my wife. She talks to everyone a lot more than I do, which is not abnormal because it's mainly the women here who meet up with themselves. Yesterday, my neighbor asked a question about which program my son came here through. I was very confused, asked for clarification, and told him he was my son. It turns out my wife told his wife and many others that my son was not my son, but a scholarship kid. Asked my wife about it and she said that she didn't know how to explain and what would people think. I hate how she does this. When we're at home, it's great, but the second we go out in public it's, what would people think? He overheard us and told me this morning that he doesn't care what she said and to not let him be the reason we're fighting. So I'm thinking, do I respect his wishes and drop it, or do I try to talk to my wife about it again? What would people think? This won't be the last time your wife puts other people's views above her family. I'd do couples counseling. He overheard us and told me this morning that he doesn't care what she said and to not let him be the reason we're fighting. You need to make it clear to your son that you're not fighting because of him at all. How much does your wife resent your son? Don't respect his wishes. This is something you and your wife need to work out. He needs to know that at least one of his parents isn't ashamed of him. It's also an issue in your marriage if you and your wife have very different ideas on how you feel about your son. How old is your son? Did you, and the rest of your family, just find out about him? Is this one of those exclusive communities where the people have lots of money, Botox, and a lack of common sense? Sounds like typical suburban BS. I would bring it up with your wife again and ask if these over Botox housewives' opinion mean more than having respect for the family. I, 33F, was not invited to significant other, 36M, B-Day. His family hates me. I, 33F, have been with my boyfriend, 36M, for 3 years. I moved in with him a few weeks ago. Today is his B-Day. I've been in our apartment alone the whole day so far. So I told him a week ago I was planning something elaborate even though my funds are tight at the moment. He told me all he wants to do is go see John Wick 4 and didn't want anything. Totally cool with that, it's his day. He woke me up this morning and told me he was going to his family's house. He has both his parents and 2 siblings my age living in the home. I was a little caught off guard because I wasn't even invited and the only thing I could think to ask him in that moment was what kind of cake he wanted. He told me his mom is getting him a cake so I won't have to worry. Then he left. I am really hurt because I've only met his family a total of 5 times. And each time every family member has gone out of their way be just straight up rude and I stood there taking it like a dummy. For example, his sister told me once when I was over, "Why are you here? He never even talks about you." His brother once gave me a look of disgust as he walked by me in the kitchen. His mom whispered to his sister, "She's got a big butt." But not in a "damn girl" way, more like a shameful whisper way. His brother's girlfriend told my boyfriend, "There's something off about her," after meeting me for the first time. This was the only one I didn't witness, but my boyfriend told me when I asked him after so many disses why they don't like me. They don't know me in any other capacity. Each time, I've silently taken the jabs out of respect for my boyfriend and he's been present in all those examples. So I get it, they don't like me. Which hurts because I DK what I did and I am a family-oriented person and am far from my family ATM. But today, it really hurts because not even an invite to his own B-Day cake. They could even be having a party for all I know right now, I'm not sure. I don't know how to even feel right now besides disrespected, a bit angry and wondering if I want a future with someone who won't say to their family, "Hey guys, be nice to my GF," and instead will just have separate celebrations for what the rest are life. What do I do or say to him because it is bothering me? TL.Dr. Me and boyfriend living together. Wasn't invited by him or anyone over his family house for B-Day cake today. His family has always been beyond rude, but today I'm feeling hurt while I wait for him to get back. Has me contemplating relationship future. You shouldn't have moved in with him, sad face. He doesn't value you the way you deserve, frankly. I rarely go straight for the end it, but he won't even defend you to his family or insist you come along. He just left you home alone? It sounds like he isn't taking your relationship seriously or he doesn't want to engage with his family. neither of which are going to result in happiness for you long term. My advice is to move on. Where are they getting their information about you if not from him? Whatever negativity you're getting from them has an origin. Are you sure he speaks well about you in front of them? Why do they feel comfortable dissing you in front of him? Why are you still with him? His family hates you, you've only met them 5 times. He doesn't defend you, he never even talks about you. He doesn't care to do anything with you, he didn't care that you tried to do something for his birthday. This guy seemingly doesn't even like you if he won't even put in a good word with his family. Why are you still subjecting yourself to this? If he's not defending you now, he never will. I, 42F, self-sabotaged my relationship with husband, 50M, by saying he could sleep with someone. Another open relationship question but with a twist. I, 42F, in a moment of horrendous stupidity, suggested that it might be okay for my husband, 50M, to sleep with another woman if I wasn't meeting his needs. He messaged everyone he could online and within a week had arranged to meet someone. I begged him not to go ahead with it as I realized I wasn't emotionally able for it, but he did it anyway. Now I'm angry and feel not good enough, and he feels the only future for him is to sleep with other women as I'm too same why in bed. It excites him for me to sleep with other men, but I have no interest in doing so. I'm devastated and can't see a future for us. He thinks I'm overreacting. Is this the greatest self-sabotage you've ever heard? I'm distraught and wish I could go back in time, but clearly that's not an option. Do you think there's a way back from here? I feel like, the moment you said you were uncomfortable with it, it should have been cut off there. Your husband made vows to you and is supposed to respect your boundaries. Your marriage is over. Your husband will continue to cheat on you because that door is open now. The first time was cheating, you withdrew consent and he did it anyways. There is no coming back from this, and yes, this was a self-sabotage by even opening this door in the first place without even talking about it first. I would really recommend therapy and go ahead and get into contact with a divorce lawyer. I think it's worth some self-reflection on why you suggested this in the first place. However, let's play out what would have happened if you had done this with a spouse who respected and cared for you. He would have spent a long time discussing it with you, making sure it was something you both wanted to pursue. You two would have discussed boundaries and concerns in detail. And the minute you changed your mind, that would have been the end of it. The difference between that and what your husband did signals to me that there were some profound issues in the marriage already, and your husband was not treating you with love or even basic respect. I wouldn't say self-sabotage. I would say you found out what he really wants, and it is not what you want, and it is time to get out. Find a good attorney. Move on and heal. Don't look back. My 33M girlfriend, 26F, has zero understanding for my work schedule and my work intensity. Hello to all. So, I, 33M, have been in a relationship with this wonderful woman, 26F, since a year. I am originally from Germany, came to the US 6 years ago as medical school graduate and first did research and then started general surgery residency. I am in my 3rd year of residency and it is going great. I met this beautiful woman at the gym and we started talking and now we are a couple. She is certainly the one for me and this relationship is serious. However, there is a big problem that is hurting our relationship at the moment. She, literally, has zero understanding for the intensity that I experience at work and overall the time I invest in my career. It is what it is, and the job and my duties as a surgeon simply take up most of my day. I also have academic duties which I have to fulfill. I often work from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m., and the weekends can be tough when I am on call. When I have days off, I often sleep out and spend the day in bed, play video games or read up on cases and work. I usually have 2 days per month which are purely for our relationship. On these days, I plan trips, beautiful dinners, etc. However, my girl Reen just confronted me that she would want us to spend more time together. Of course, I want this, too, but it is simply not possible. She works as a teacher and comes home from work in a regular manner. Then, she expects me to spend time with her and do activities. She does not want to accept that I simply do not have the time and capacity to do this since I just do not have a 9 to 5. I tried to explain this to her, but she simply does not understand it. She is the woman I intend to marry someday, but our relationship took a big hit because of T. To sum it up, she is very unhappy about my lack of time and me not being able to have regular daily work schedule that is according to hers. What do you recommend me to do? Your work schedule is always going to be super intense. She's never going to get it, and this might be just a fundamental incompatibility. I'm pretty independent, but 2 days per month isn't a relationship in my book. I'm not saying that your priorities are wrong, but they're incompatible with most people's idea of commitment, and your girlfriend is one of those people. I like to veg out and play games as part of my self-care too. But if my boyfriend was spending 2 days a month with me and prioritizing video games on other days that we could spend time together, I wouldn't feel like the woman he intended to marry. Not in a marriage I'd want to be a part of. I get her frustration. I don't think there's much you can do. Your career is, of necessity, taking priority at the moment, and she doesn't feel inclined to be supportive of that. She wants you to give her time you don't have. You can't. You want her to be okay with that. She isn't. There isn't really a way around it. To be honest with you, there aren't many women that would be happy with only getting 2 days a month with their partner. You seem entirely too busy to focus on a relationship. It isn't that you're particularly doing anything wrong, but the amount of time you offer her isn't enough. I don't think this relationship can survive on that little time. Honestly, it just sounds like you're not ready to be in a relationship right now at this stage in your life. Your work is your priority, and that can be okay, but just be aware of the consequences. I mean, you're choosing video games on the weekends over spending time with your girlfriend, lol. I'm not saying you shouldn't enjoy your hobbies, but your priorities are clearly a certain way and your girlfriend isn't at the top of them. I wouldn't be happy with just 2 days out of a month either. You might just be incompatible, and that's okay. It happens.